energy within the space now about the issues of anti-corruption. Why? Is it because of the 2019 elections? Let's get some answers. Tonight I have on the panel Professor Kingsley Mohalo from our Abuja studio. He's just declared today to run on the platform of YPP as a presidential hopeful. And we have here with me in the Lagos studio the executive director of SERAP, Mr. Adetokunbo Mumini, is also a lawyer and a rights activist. Let me quickly come to the issues of anti-corruption. Stay with us, Professor Magalu. It looks like something just happened in the last few days. There seems to be a renewed energy in the anti-corruption war. What exactly is cooking? Is there anything special or is just natural?
Let me say straight away that the reference of the president to what happened in the power sector has been our constant cry. Remember that SERAP launched a report. The title of the report was From Darkness to Darkness: How Nigerians are paying for corruption in the power sector. SERAP commissioned a professor to look at the power sector. The professor came up with the findings that 11 trillion naira had been spent on the power sector since the commencement of democracy in 1999 up till 2015. Now, the report...
11 trillion naira.
Yes.
That's almost like 3 times of the budget of Nigeria for 3-4 years.
Yes, yes. Now, what happened was that we submitted that report to various stakeholders, EFCC, ICPC, and we called them to do a thorough investigation of all the findings in that report so that anybody that has complicity in how those monies disappeared would, once there is evidence, face prosecution. Now that the president has started talking about the $16 billion allegedly spent by Obasanjo regime.
He didn't mention the Obasanjo regime.
No.
But he looked so much. He didn't mention the name of the president, but he just said past president.
But once you know
the 16 billion, the figure,
yes,
you can easily relate with him.
Yes. Who would not like the president to limit himself to that? The entire 11 trillion naira spent on the power sector must be interrogated. Refer to EFCC and or ICPC to look into it so that whoever has complicity in how this money got spent or got mismanaged.
But Mr. Mumini, this is not the first time people have been fingered in this power sector corruption.
But nothing has been done in terms of prosecution.
So why has the former report and indicted person not easily been referred to easy? I mean, because these cases are there for everyone to see.
Yes.
The question is, why would you want to go back to investigate all over again when there are indictments in the last few years?
No. Let me remind you. The Nigerian Constitution has set up 3 tiers of government. The legislature makes law. The executive executes the law. The judiciary is the arbiter when we are talking about matters of that nature. So, for example, the former president, Obasanjo, said he has been cleared by who? By a panel of the National Assembly. So,
and he did say that out of the 10 billion that was at the time,
yes,
that the figure was sexed up by the former speaker at the time from 10 to 16 billion, but that the actual figure that was spent was $3 billion US.
You see, if that is the case, when he is called to come and answer formally in the criminal charge, he will now explain to the Nigerian people and the court.
Are you saying that the President Buhari administration should probe former President Obasanjo?
Not only Obasanjo, the Yaradua regime, the Jonathan regime. We said 11 trillion naira had been expended on the power sector. We are still having the power challenge up to now. That is the point. So we are not asking for a probe of Obasanjo.
Do you think the political muscle is there within this environment to make that happen?
Good.
Because saying it is a different thing. But when 3 administrations you have it, fingered in all of this issue, you know just how difficult politically this is.
No, let me tell you. The only thing that the president of Nigeria now Muhammadu Buhari can lay claim to is his austere character, his bundle of integrity. And once he cannot handle this matter, then we can as well say, let him leave the state for us. He's looking for a second term. He has to show Nigerian that it shall not be business as usual. He would pursue this matter.
But it's a very dangerous task, isn't it?
No. If you are the executive,
politically speaking.
Politically speaking, it may be dangerous, but if you are the executive president of Nigeria, that is the power that you have been conferred with.
Because a lot of people will say it's a political suicide if you do that, because of the kind of people that have been indicted and fingered in these cases.
So if you are saying it's a political suicide, then let us forget about fight against corruption.
If the Buhari administration does not probe the power sector, would you say that the anti-corruption war has failed? It
would definitely have failed. When we say 11 trillion naira has been mismanaged, and we are in a democracy that we are not talking, that would be too.
But look at the set of people that have been prosecuted recently.
Yes.
Former governor of Kano, former governor of Plateau State.
Yes.
I mean, these are politically exposed persons,
yes,
but from one political party. A lot of people would say, is it a witch hunt or a political corruption war?
Good.
Do you think the corruption war is fair?
No. Let me say this. It is either you are at fault criminally or not. Once you are at fault criminally, whether you are of the PDP or YPP, you should be answering for what you have done.
Because the question, Mr. Mumini, will be, yes, what about those who have been fingered in the issue of corruption but have moved on to the other side? And there seems to be some quiet. So those are the issues on the street. If you look at some of the placards being raised, those outside of those courtrooms, those are the issues.
That is what we are saying. It's so that there will be no political motive read into it. Go all out to fight this war. We say the starting point is probe Obasanjo, probe Yar'Adua's regime, probe Jonathan's regime, because they are responsible for mismanaging, filtering away the total sum of 11 trillion naira.
That would be very interesting.